Are you serious? Are you serious? Did Bitcoin bite the dust? Did Bitcoin bite the dust? Did Bitcoin bite the dust?
And
Are you serious? Are you serious? Did Bitcoin bite the dust?
Serious?
Did
And another
Bitcoin
one's
bite the
gone.
dust?
Another one's gone. Are you
Bitcoin bite the
serious?
dust?
And
Are
another
you
one's gone.
serious?
Another one's
Are
gone.
you
Are
serious? Did
serious?
Bitcoin bite
Are
the
you
dust?
serious?
Stop it. Maybe not. But we are in the midst of a great reset. I'm Pastor Paul Begley. Are you serious? This is the Coming Apocalypse YouTube version. I'm sorry I didn't have my microphone up. This is the Paul Begley. This is the Coming Apocalypse YouTube version of this broadcast. And wow, did Bitcoin has been it bites the dust, but it hasn't died. But it's part of the great reset. I mean, here's what happened. Last night, it fell down as far as about $26,000, about 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, it's up today because everybody, when they saw how low it got, they all went in and bought, which will drive the price back up. But then in a few days, you have to realize it was at $69,000. It was at $69,000. Will it go back there again? Probably, even higher. Okay. Probably. The music's terrible today. No, it's not. It's just me. Music's great. Okay. Music's great. But I'm also not running it through the system that Israel runs it through at the studio, which is perfect. Or the one up in Indiana, my studio that Brock runs it through, which is perfect. I'm in my my little office studio here in my house here in Florida. So you're right. The music is not as good. Anyway, but back to the story here. Can I put a shout out first before I get too far into this? Because I think everyone needs to know that noblegoldinvestment.com, that's www.noblegoldinvestment.com. Pick up the phone, call them right now, actually. If you have a 401k, if you have a retirement fund that's mostly is in the stock market, you need to diversify some of it, if not all of it, into precious metals for a while. And that will protect its value. Pick up the phone, call Colin Plume at 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. That's www.noblegoldinvestments.com. All right. Now, let's take a look at this whole Bitcoin great reset thing. And Anna, look at that. I sold Bitcoins when it was 60,000. What did you buy it at, Anna? That's great. She sold hers at 60,000. What did you buy it at, Anna? Did you buy it at 69 and then dumped it at 60? Is that what you're saying? Or did you buy it at 40 and then sold it at 60? Just a question. Since we got somebody here who actually, oh, you mined it. Okay, you're one of the miners. Okay, cool, very good, very good. All right, so let's take a look at this because obviously Bitcoin is something weird compared to property that is actually a asset. And property we don't get more and more and more property out there. There's only so much land. Property is an asset. Cash is an asset, although it can fluctuate in its value with hyperinflation. Your dollar's worth less, or it has less buying power, I should say. Gold and silver is an asset that also fluctuates, but not as drastic. A little bit up, a little bit down, but it's a pretty good, consistent, constant, and has been for over 5,000 years. The cryptocurrency comes along, and it's a wild card. If you ask me, it's a total wild card. I still don't know what in the world it's based on, other than there is only 21 million Bitcoins that were ever minted or mined, and that's all there'll ever be. But still, what causes those prices to fluctuate based on a variety of things? And I don't trust it as an asset. But then again, that doesn't mean you still couldn't, even though I don't trust it as an asset, doesn't mean you couldn't buy it at 28,000 or 29,000 right now and sell it when it gets to 40,000. Doesn't mean you can't do that. But then again, who knows? And the stock market, well, that's considered an asset, but I wouldn't consider it an asset because once again, it's paper money. It's Yeah, you could buy stocks. They could go up and sell it. But when you sell it, what is actually tangible, okay, tangible is something that's actually tangible. It's not numbers on a computer or paper. It's tangible, and land or property and gold and silver or certain types of stock in a company. There's certain assets that are tangible, okay? But you can still make money off just about anything. Baseball cards. I have a cousin who has over $700,000 worth of baseball cards. He started saving baseball cards when he and I were both 13 years old, and I ended up throwing mine away, and he ended up constantly saving them. He has every baseball card that was ever made since 1951, and but he has more than he has duplicates of rookie cards. Like at one time, he showed me he had 7 Nolan Ryan rookie cards. They're now worth about $3,000 a piece. He's got 7 of them. So yeah, he's got a $750,000 baseball card collection. That's a tangible asset, and those prices fluctuate a little, but overall they're a constant, and they just keep sliding forward up. Stamp collections. There's certain things like that. Coin collections, but Bitcoin is this misnomer that I think is being used, as well as I'm not saying it's evil. I'm just saying it's being used along with a lot of other things to bring about a great reset, which ultimately brings about the New World Order's economic system, which the Bible calls the beast kingdom system, or the mark of the beast. Ultimately, that's where we will wind up in the Bible. But on the road there, it gets a little crazy. Let's read what the articles are saying about Bitcoin, though, in the news this morning. More than $200 billion of cryptocurrency was wiped off the market in one day. 200 billion. But that means 200 billion could get added to the market in one day. Okay? As crazy as that is. So a massive sell-off of cryptocurrencies wiped out $200 billion worth of wealth from the market in 24 hours. That's according to estimates from price trading websites CoinMarketCap. The broad plunge in the crypto complex, driven by the collapse of the Terra USD stable coin, hit major tokens hard. Bitcoin plunged by as much as 10% in the last day. And it's up 7 today, but it lost 10. So you're still in -3. Okay. But if you just bought yesterday, you're up 7% already. See what I'm saying? It's all about timing. The old saying is buy low, sell high. You do the same thing with real estate. Anyway, Ethereum dropped as much as 16%. Bitcoin's the lowest it's been since the December of 2020. And the carnage showed signs of spreading further today as crypto-related stocks in Asia also cratered. Hong Kong listed fintech firm BC Technology Group Ltd closed down 6.7. Japan's Monex Group Incorporated, which owns the TradeStation and CoinCheck marketplaces, ended the day down 10%. That's huge for a market. As the central banks across the world move to aggressively tighten the monetary policies to fight inflation, digital tokens have faced selling pressure amid a broader flight from risk assets. People are selling their cryptocurrencies because they need the cash. Why do they need the cash? Because they're losing money hand over fist in the stock market. So they're now selling their crypto, because these people who own a lot of stock, of which I don't own any. But let me explain it to you. People who own stock also generally own Bitcoins or cryptocurrencies. They may also own companies. They may also own properties. These people generally they get their hands in a lot of things. They may also own gold and silver and precious stones. And so they do this. When one thing's down, they buy. and sell when it goes high. But when there is a total downturn under the Biden administration, when inflation today came out at 11% price index, I should say the inflation yesterday came out 8.3%, which is outrageous, highest in 40 years. Today, the what's called consumer index came out, price index, that what you could buy, everything that you bought last year, a year ago today, it's now 11% higher across the board. Some things are 40% higher. Okay, but across the board, everything is at least 11% higher across the board. That's outrageous. So we have hyperinflation going on, and that's because they kept printing money. And the more money you print, the weaker the dollar gets. Now that we're in a market downturn, the stock market is suffering. The dollar is suffering. The prices are outrageous. The gas prices are through the roof. Prices of everything is up 11% across the board. And interest rates are now being raised to try to counter the inflation. Thus, assets start losing value. Here's what happens. Some of the guys who own a lot of stock, who are losing money in the stock market right now, turn and say, I got to get some cash. So they turn to their cryptocurrency stashes and they sell them because they need the cash. So they sell it. Well, there's this big sell-off. Well, when that happens, then the market, the value of the crypto goes down big time. It's sliding the wrong direction. At some point, though, people start buying and it starts to go up in the other direction. It is an insane game, but to tell you the truth, it's all part of the Great Reset. They're trying to break the system to such inconsistent and instability that people will freak out and start to beg and start making if they start making a run on the banks, you got big problems. Okay. Also, you have insurance companies that are going bankrupt because the catastrophes, the hurricanes, the tornadoes, the wildfires, the droughts, the wars are causing insurance companies can't keep up with all of the payouts in these major catastrophes, earthquakes, and they seem to be increasing across the world. So if the insurance companies are saying, you know what, we can't keep up with all the payouts, and so they start going belly up. So the protection ability is harder. All of these things creates an instability in the world. This is exactly what the Bible said would happen in the last days. The Bible talks about this beast kingdom, a new system that requires a mark, a type of identification, a biometric mark, apparently, because it's either in your right hand or your forehead. It won't be in your left hand. You say, well, what if a person don't have a right hand? Put in the left? No, because the left hand is considered vile and not acceptable to use according to the Islamic faith. So what they'll do, they'll never put it in the left hand. It'll be the right hand, or if you don't have a hand, it'll go in your forehead. This is why it says that in the Bible. The mark is the number of a man, which is 666. It's not the number of God, which is 7. Now, there's carbon seems to become what I call the new green religion. And I'm writing about that in my new book coming out. And what people are doing is we're made up of 6. Mankind is made up of 6 electrons, 6 protons, and 6 neutrons. That's carbon. 666. That is the number of a man in carbon. And your carbon footprint is the new green religion. And your social credit scores will be based on how much carbon you use. They're going to start you're going to start seeing everything you buy on the back of it. It's going to start telling you how much carbon this is. They're already doing it on I just saw plane tickets that Pastor Sammy Naik is coming from India to America in a few weeks. and his plane ticket, it says at the bottom, it says, here's how much carbon this plane trip will cost. In other words, here's how much he's using to fly. So this is what they're going to do. They're going to start monitoring everything you buy, everything you do is costing carbon in their minds. And you should only be allowed so much carbon per month. If the Green New Deal has their way, they will monitor how much your carbon usage is. And when you hit your limit, you probably won't be able to buy anything else because it'll be denied till the next month. So if you want to fly in a plane, you're going to eat up a bunch of your carbon for the month, and maybe you have to then skip some meals toward the end of the month. I don't know. But let's say you only get so many carbon, you're only allowed to spend so much carbon a month. Well, what if the prices of food go up so high, and you only have so much money, but you can't buy stuff because it may have too high of a carbon footprint? Do you understand what that would do to the economy if you start limiting people's ability to buy and sell? But that's exactly what the mark of the beast does. And you can't even participate if you don't have the mark. These days are coming. The Great Reset. This move, freedom's gone. Brianna's exactly right. It feels like we have no freedom. Brianna's right. We're losing our freedoms on a moment-to-moment basis. But actually, when the mark of the beast is implemented, there is no more freedom. Actually, even before the mark of the beast is here, we will lose our freedoms before we even get to that day. You can see it happening. Lawlessness. It don't matter what the law says. They just do what they want. So if the rule of law no longer matters, then freedom doesn't matter. And we've experienced this now for about 3 years. We have watched our freedoms here in America and around the world. It's not just here. I mean, they've been protesting in every major city in Europe about how they've lost their freedoms. Mandated loss of freedoms. So, yeah. Bitcoin bites the dust I'm not saying Bitcoin's done. No, it'll be back. It'll go higher than $69,000 a coin. At some point, it'll probably get to $100,000 a coin. But my point is this, that everything now is being managed to bring us to the Great Reset, which then brings us to the mark of the beast system. And it's a combination of prophecies coming to pass simultaneously right before our very, very eyes. Revelation chapter 13. Read it.
There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, I'm gonna get up out of the ground. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Look way down the river. What do you think you see? I see a band of angels, and they're coming after me. Well, there ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. No, there ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Look down yonder, Gabriel. Put your feet on the land and see. Gabriel, don't blow that trumpet until you hear from me. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. No, there ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Well, meet me, Jesus, meet me. Meet me in the middle of the air. And if these wings don't fail me, I'll meet you anywhere. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. No, there ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Well, meet me, mother and father, down by the river road. Mama, you know I'll be there. I'm a checking in my load. Well, there ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. No, there ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Oh, there ain't no grave gonna hold my body down.
Someone just asked who was playing the piano on that song, and I know who's playing piano on that song because in the recording session we did, his name is Mike Kyle. Mike Kyle, and he is the piano player for Brooks and Dunn. And I was fortunate enough to have him play piano on the entire album, The Journey. All right, guys, I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. Please do not forget tonight. We're going live tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, double header with, it's triple header. I'm going to say it's a triple header. It's Doug Hagman, Joseph Shackelford with music, and Mike from around the world. What a broadcast coming up at 9:30 tonight on the Thursday Night Live coming upon you. Give your life to Jesus Christ. We are running, folks. We're literally running out of time.